woo. Welcome to another episode of Just a Couple Things, y'all. Your favorite podcast hosted by me, your sister, Jessie Woo. Now, before we continue, are you subscribed? Are you subscribed? Yes, go ahead and subscribe. If you're watching this, subscribe to my YouTube channel, okay? Do that now so that you can see these visualities every week. But also make sure that you are subscribed to me on every streaming platform that streams podcasts. So if you're an Apple person, go down to Apple Podcasts and hit follow on Just a Couple Things. If you're a Spotify person, if you're the one who's spotting people, go down to Spotify and hit follow for Just a Couple Things podcast. And make sure you do the same thing on every streaming platform that streams podcasts. You guys who listen audibly get the podcast first. Did y'all know that? Yeah, you get it first, girl. So go ahead and follow, okay? Hit that follow button. All right, y'all. How y'all doing? It's March 18th. We still in International Black Women's Month. This month is just, Lord. It's just a lot going on. It is just a lot going on in the month of March. But is it me or the years going by really, really fast? Like, we're already March 18, like, we're about to be April next week. Like, the year's going by really, really fast. A lot is happening. And it's like, I don't know if I'm happy about that because there's so much turmoil going on. We got Tesla dealerships being set on fire. You know, we got Trump getting slapped by a mic. Did y'all see this?
Obviously, you're concerned. You're concerned about the situation in Gaza. What are the now to get the hostages back?
She just became a big story tonight, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you see that?
You know what? That microphone that hit Trump, like it was Elon's dick smacking him on the chin. That microphone just became the person of the year. Go ahead, give them a magazine cover, make them the person of the year. You win. You win. You win. You win. And you know what? You know I love to say unplug the microphones and get a job. But you know what? Keep that microphone plugged in. That microphone did the job. Next, just a couple things, child. Did y'all see that for St. Patty's Day, the White House invited Mr. Conor McGregor, a convicted rapist, down to the Tesla house. Donald Duck is also a convicted rapist. So, I mean, I guess birds of a feather flock together. Child, yesterday, the internet went into an uproar. We still in just a couple things. Jonathan Majors admitted to strangling his ex. Okay. You know, Jonathan Majors recently has been on the up and up. Magazine Dreams was picked up by Zeus Network, and I can't remember the other entity that picked it up, but it's supposed to premiere this week. And somebody down the Rolling Stone was like, we saw that Hollywood Reporter piece that they did on you last week, talking about, you know, how you was abused and, you know, you lost your job and, you know, and we've seen all the interviews that you've done. We saw the ABC special where you sat there and you confirmed that Megan Good is your Coretta Scott King Jr. Okay, like we've seen it all. And even when he sat in that interview, he told, I believe it was not Diane Sawyer, but who was it? I think it was Robin Roberts. He told her that he did not know how his ex-girlfriend had got that mark on her and how she got all them injuries on her. He never admitted to anything that he did. Okay, he's been on a please forgive me, please don't judge me PR tour. And on the heel, right when Magazine Dreams is about to drop, Rolling Stone was like, we gonna let y'all hear this audio of him admitting to strangling his ex. Yeah, we gonna do that. All right, so here is the audio, y'all.
I'm ashamed. I've never wrestled with a woman before. Man, it's just, I've never aggressed a woman. I aggressed like
You strangled me and pushed me against the car.
All those things are under aggressed.
Yeah.
It's so crazy because at the beginning of the audio, you hear him say, I've never wrestled I've never wrestled, I've never aggressed anyone. And she says, but you strangled me. And he says, well, yes. And she's like, that is aggress. He's like, yes, that is aggress. But there's a pause. And then she says, because I said something sarcastically. And he says, well, it's more than that. Right? So it's just like the gaslighting of it all for him to say he's never aggressed anyone or he's never wrestled anyone, but then agree with her that when she does say, well, you strangled me, he's like, well, yes, that is aggress. It's just crazy. And what's even more crazier is the people who hear this audio and still will say things like, he did not admit to strangling her. He literally admits to it. This is an admission. There are a lot of people who are saying, well, why wasn't this used at the trial? Well, first and foremost, they're talking about a different incident, okay? So at the trial, there were a series of text messages that were discovered detailing or showing that this man had been hitting this woman several times over the years, and he would gaslight her into not going to the hospital. There was one text message where he was like, hey, if you go to the hospital, they're going to ask you questions about how that happened. And you can see her saying, my head really hurts though. Like, I won't tell them. I won't answer their questions. So he would gaslight her a lot into not going to get help. But anyway, clearly this is not from the same incident. So that's one thing, right? But then also when you hear the audio, it's clear that he is not consenting to being recorded, okay? So I am going to go ahead and just make an educated guess that this type of evidence was brought forth, but the judge didn't allow it in because obviously I think if someone's not consenting to being recorded in some states and in certain courts, you know, in certain jurisdictions, maybe that cannot be admissible within the case. And also, you know, it could be argued, well, this was from a whole separate other incident. So that's what I can surmise from that. But still, even with all that being said, just watching folks have so much grace for this man and knowing that y'all do not have any grace for victims. Like, I've seen people in the comment section say, well, you know what? He didn't hit Megan. Call me when he hits Megan. You're not going to care if he's beating down on Megan, Coretta Scott King Jr. Good. You're not going to care. You didn't care about Megan Thee Stallion getting shot. So you're not going to care about this, okay? And to put it quite frankly, we've seen Megan Good be courted in court with this man. So even if she is a victim of his, she's not going to get any type of grace. It's just not going to happen, okay? The way she has been sticking to that contract, and some of y'all have said, well, there's no way it's a PR relationship. Baby, if she is doing this without a contract, she's dumb. She is a fucking dummy. Because there's no way I would allow myself to be courted in court during my man's DV case, which, by the way, if you read between the lines, that text message that sparked him knocking Grace's head in between them back seats, it came from Megan Good, allegedly. Fuck allegedly. It came from Megan. It came from Megan because the way she just seemingly just popped up down to a Red Lobster here, down to Olive Garden there with Jonathan Luther King Majors III, and then now like y'all engaged, please. It's just ridiculous to me. And you know what? The same grace that I see y'all have for Jonathan Luther King Majors Jr. III, I want to see y'all have that for Black women. A Black woman will have a bad attitude. Her whole career is over. A Black woman will twerk too much. Her whole career is over. A Black woman will have a questionable tweet from 10 years ago. Her career is over. Y'all don't like her. But a Black man can beat you, can rape you, can kill you, can scam you, and you all will have the young Black man. All he got to do is come to y'all and, I'm a young Black man doing all I can. God, protect me. I don't want to live. A Black man can be out here dousing y'all down with baby oil and pink crack, and y'all have all the grace in the world. I do not want to hear it. I do not want to hear it when it comes to black women. Don't want to hear it. Don't care. Don't care. You know who is somebody I will never have grace for? Motherfucking Yolanda Saldivar, bitch. Yolanda Saldivar recently did an interview where she talked about Selena's. And she said, and I quote, Selena came at her really aggressively. If Selena had confronted her differently, this never would have happened. A family member of Yolanda Saldivar to New York Post this month. So actually it was a family member, but still they said it on her behalf. Let me tell y'all something. You know, Yolanda Saldivar is it me or she looks like a hurt big toe? You know how when you knock your toe into the tip of the bed and it just like does this thing where it just crunches up a little bit? That's how Yolanda Saldivar looks. You just look like a fucked up big toe. So sick of this bitch. To have the nerve to send your family members out here to say this shit. Mind you, Yolanda is up for parole. I believe she filed for parole this January. I'm not sure when her parole hearing is. But don't let that lady out. Do not let that lady out. We finna jump her. She is not safe. She is not safe. Y'all let Yolanda out, baby. We finna jump her and jump her real good. Okay? Tensions is very high in the Mexican community right now. Okay? All that como la flor, that shit will go out the motherfucking window if y'all let that hoe out. I'm letting y'all know right now. Put that shit out the cage. Put that bitch out the cage, hoe. You want to see Mexicans go crazy? Release Yolanda Saldivar. The way the Mexicans will crash out, release Yolanda Saldivar. Don't. I'm just saying, don't do it. But if y'all do that shit, baby, it's finna be some hell to pay. All right, let's pivot. We still in just a couple things, child. Just a couple things, y'all. Normani is engaged. Normani is engaged to DK Metcalf. He is a football player. I believe he just got traded over to the Steelers. Very successful football player. They've been dating like 3 years, and Russell Wilson and Ciara hooked them up. There's been all this online talk about this is how you're supposed to show up for your friends, and I totally agree. I remember saying this on YouTube one time. I'm like, you know what? Friends who are in relationships, we should actively be out here trying to fix up our friends. And I know me personally, with Mr. Easter, like we are working on that. Okay, this friend is single, that friend is single. Who can we make mingle together? You know? But let me know what you think about your friends fixing you up. Have you had your friends fix you up? And has it worked out for you? Now, I will say, the last time I had friends fix me up, I did end up with a Haitian demon. That man was a demon, okay? I will never forget going on a date with this man. And I asked this man, are you single? Yes, I'm single. Probably 30 minutes later, he gets a call from his mom. And he answers the call on speaker because he want to tell his mom, oh, Mom, I'm with Jessie Woo. But before he could even get there, his mom's like, what you doing? What you doing? You with your girlfriend? What have a girlfriend? Oh, you with your girlfriend? She was here yesterday. Oui, they passé là yesterday. Oui, t'es là. Oui, yes, why? Your girlfriend? Are you out with your girlfriend? That's what my friends fix me up with, okay? So just make sure if your friends are fixing y'all up, make sure that they know what the fuck they doing. Because I ended up with a Haitian demon. All right. But anywho, it's so refreshing to see Normani engaged. Oh my God. Can we clap it up? Can we clap it up for Normani? Now, we ain't never going to get no tour. We ain't never going to get no more music. But I'm so happy to see her engaged. Okay. And not be a baby mama. Okay, not be out here with no damn desperate ass streamer that runs to the internet every 5 minutes because he wants to be able to do dumbass content using his baby. I'm so happy that Normani is choosing to be a wife, to be a fiance first. Do y'all remember like when the R&B girlies, like they had to become wives? Like there was no baby mama. No, there wasn't that. They had to become wives. Do y'all remember when Brandy was out here lying to us about being a wife? Because she was an R&B girly and you could not be out here with no ring and a baby. Down to the Oprah line, just lying about being somebody's wife. The whole time she was a baby mama. I ain't knocking that though, because that was so important back in the day. Like optics were so important. And you know, I'm happy that folks are being themselves and stuff like that. Yes, I mean, but no, bring back optics. Bring back optics, because y'all are out here wilding. So anyway, congratulations to Normani. Her and DK look so good together. Oh my God. Baby, I go up for a chocolate couple. Baby, I goes up for chocolat. Choco, la la. Boire manger en chocolat. Give me a chocolate couple any damn day. I love it. Speaking of engagements, Deshaun Watson and what's his girlfriend's name? Well, his fiance, Jilly. Deshaun Watson and Jilly Ines are engaged. Congratulations to them. That ring though, my God, baby, that ring goes crazy. And let me tell you something. That's the only way to go about getting a ring for somebody who done stuck by your ass for 6 years and 20 SA lawsuits. Okay. Okay. 20 sexual assault lawsuits make my ring huge, okay? Let me tell you something. Bitches heal up like Wolverine when it comes to being rich and having big money, having big rings, and having all that. Because ain't no way in hell. I'm so sorry, Jilly, okay? I'm so sorry. No, ma'am. We've seen the massage parlor incidents. Somebody in the comment section was like, I bet she gives really good massages. I screamed. It's not funny though, because there's 20 women who have come forth and had very, 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 very legible, credible lawsuits. And I believe he settled most of them. I think he just settled one like a couple months ago at the end of 2024. But congratulations to them, girl. I hope you know how to give bomb-ass massages, girl. Like I said, we done seen the massage parlor sexual assault allegation lawsuits, child. The ring knocks, though. Congratulations. It couldn't be me. I don't give a damn how much money you got. It could not be me. Congratulations. All right, y'all. We still in just a couple things, y'all. Did y'all see this story? This is foolishness. This is there's danger in the lane. I came by this story the other day, and so apparently, I'm sorry. 5 people arrested for blocking downtown Memphis intersection while twerking. These 5 men were arrested for violently twerking down to an intersection. Do y'all see these people mugshots? I'm sorry. I need to know what they was twerking to. I feel like they was having a good old time. Free them. Free them. Sister in the blonde wig, I know she was twerking the most violently. She just looked like she got that in her, okay? An unusual scene unfolded in downtown Memphis on Monday night, March 10th, as 5 individuals were arrested after blocking the intersection while twerking. Police reported spotting a 2016 Chevy Malibu spotted at a green light at South 2nd Street and Union Avenue, with 4 young adults twerking around the car and 1 dancing on its hood. The group, ranging in age from 18 to 22, was charged with obstructing a highway or passageway. That's a real charge? That is a, come on now. If y'all don't free these people. One of the suspects, 19-year-old Jordan Smith, also had a warrant. Never mind. See, George, I had your back now. I had your back. Jordan Smith had a warrant for vandalism with his bond set at $2,100. The others, Mikkel Sanders, Rashawn Bryant, Mange Crow. What do y'all be naming y'all kids? Mondraco? Come on, y'all got to do better. okay? 18-year-old Mondraco, Desmond Sudbury were released on their own recognizance and are scheduled to appear in court on Wednesday. I'd love to see an update. What's going on? Free my niggas. Freedom, they ain't did nothing. They ain't did nothing. They was just twerking. They was just, imagine going to jail for twerking. Really? Really? I need to see like the traffic light footages. Was it an empty, was there really traffic going on? At what time of the day or night was this? If it's late night, why are you arresting these people? They just having a good time. Okay? These are taxpayers enjoying taxpayer things. Okay? The street lights belong to us. Okay? Free them. All right, next thing. Okay, y'all, this is insane. This is insane. So I came across this article about a church making millions of dollars by selling land in heaven. Okay, so this Christian church in Mexico has sparked controversy by offering to sell land plots in heaven for $100 per square meter. A pastor of the church known as Anthems claims that he spoke directly to God in 2017 and was granted divine permission to sell his celestial real estate. Images circulating social media show a brochure advertising the heavenly plots, okay, featuring an illustration of a grand house in the clouds with a family ascending a golden staircase to their new eternal home. The brochure lists various payment options, including credit cards, digital wallets like PayPal and Google Pay, and even installment plans, okay? According to some real estate influencers on TikTok, the church has already collected millions of dollars in this scam. However, the veracity of these claims is questionable given the absurdity of the concept. This is insane. The brochure for this is so crazy. It's clearly AI, and people are actually buying this. This is insane. Would you buy? I can't. It's always crazy to me how easy it is to scam the people of God. When I tell you common sense be chasing y'all, but y'all run like road runners. Y'all are road running away from common sense. It's just really crazy. Speaking of people using the Bible to scam y'all, Paula White is out here still trying to scam y'all. Mind you, Paula White is part of Trump's I believe she's part of Trump's religious advisory board. She's getting the big bucks. And obviously she's Paula White. Paula White has been making millions for years using the Bible to scam y'all. Here she is, child. Paula White, director of the White House Faith Office, is challenging you to give her money so that God can bless you.
I'm challenging you to sow $133 for Proverbs 133. But whoever listens to me will live in safety and be at ease without fear of harm.
There's the piano player in the background. I cannot. Let me ask y'all something. Do y'all think that giving dictates God's favor in your life? I just thought to ask that because you have Paula White telling you to give her $133 and up to $414 so that you can sow favor into your life. And mind you, this is a woman who, again, she works at the White House. She's part of their faith office, right? You don't need anybody's money. So why are you telling Christians out here to send you money? I feel like sometimes when it comes to preachers, sometimes I don't like the tone of, if you give me this money, then God is going to do this for you. It kind of makes Christianity a very transactional thing. And that's just not what it is for me. I feel like a lot of Christians are stuck in the first testimony. I'm a New Testimony girl. I'm very much about Jesus Christ's teachings, okay? Don't get me wrong. Jesus Christ was very, dedicated to his Father's word, and he would quote, a lot of things from the first testimony. But he also would introduce new ways of thinking, like, and new commandments, like loving your neighbor as much as you love yourself. And I just feel like a lot of these people that be in these pulpits, they just make Christianity out to be this thing where I have to pay God with my money for God to give me favor. When I read my Bible, that's just not what I get from that. I don't get that. You know, granted, yes, of course, as Christians, we should definitely take care of our churches. The Bible does talk about tithing, of course, right? Like, yes, take care of your church house. Take care, of your community, right? But I don't think that if I'm not able to give Paula White $133, that I'm not able to get favor from God. That's just, I think it's just so disgusting. And it's so sad to see, like, a lot of Christians will still like hold on to these teachings. And unfortunately, that's just not always the case. What about Christians who've been spending their entire lives tithing and giving offerings and they're still in poverty? What do you say to those Christians? What do you say to those Christians who literally have been giving God all their money, all their life, and they are still unable to make ends meet? What happened to what happened to God's favor in their lives? It's just, I don't know. It just be weird. It'd be so weird with Christians, child. Is danger in the land. We still in just a couple things. One of, I'm not going to say my favorite. This preacher is someone who I used to listen to a lot. Like, I had a season in my life where I listened to him a lot, and then all of a sudden I just stopped listening to him. I don't know what that was, but I listened to him a lot. And one of the reasons why I did was because if you watch his teachings, he was very much like Bible based. He didn't really do a lot of, well, this and that, and I think this, or I think that. He didn't really give a lot of like stories that went into like everyday stuff. He just stuck to the word. And I really like when preachers just stick to the word a lot of times. But anyway, a former Texas pastor, megachurch pastor accused of child sexual abuse, surrendered to Oklahoma authorities Monday. Robert Preston Morris, 63, turned himself in to officials in Osage County, where he was charged last week with 5 counts of lewd or indecent acts with a child. Phil Barkerick, a spokesperson for Oklahoma Attorney General's office, told the Associated Press court records show that in Osage County, a judge set a bond of $50,000 and he had to surrender his passport. He's expected to make an initial court appearance on the 10th of May. This is insane. I am not shocked, but I'm very disappointed. Very, very, very disappointed. Robert Morris is a big voice in the Christian community, but I'm not shocked. And you know what else I'm not shocked at too? He also works for the White House Faith Office. There's danger in the lane. Chasing me like waterfalls. All right, let's get into what the fuck did I just watch? Oh my gosh. What the fuck did I just watch? Y'all, I want to talk about 2 shows. I have no one to talk about these shows with. I am in shambles, okay? First show, Temptation Island. Temptation Island. So, is it me or Temptation Island was a huge show back in the day? I don't know what happened to the show, but I remember like when I was younger, Temptation Island was like a big thing. Anyway, it went away and now it's on Netflix. I only watched episode 1 and I had to take a break. Episode 1 to me was so unhinged. If you like shows like Love Island, if you like shows like The Ultimatum, you will love Temptation Island. It is messy, just mess. From top to bottom, mess. The setup is you have these couples who come in, they've been together for a minute, and for whatever the reason, they're struggling to get to that next step, which is marriage, or which is, being in an exclusive relationship, which is crazy to me. They think that coming to Temptation Island is going to solve their issues. The first couple I want to talk about is Taylor and Tyler. Okay, so Taylor and Tyler. Taylor is 30, Tyler is 27. Is it me or Tyler gave me LDS realness? He gave me keep sweet and obey. Okay, he gave me Mormon down. They both kind of give me Mormon, but Taylor gave it to me. Well, Tyler gave it to me the most. But anyway, Tyler was in medical sales. He gave that up so that he could become a model. Taylor is in health education, and she's a certified trainer. And so they're going through it. They've been together for how many years? They've been together 3 years. I believe so. It's either 3 years or 2 years. I don't see it on this article. I can't remember. But I think they've been together 2 years at the least. She wants to get married yesterday, right? But they're struggling because she just feels that he's not really taking having a job seriously. And then there's been some cheating worries there. So that's why they down to Temptation Island. Then you have the next couple, which is Alexa and Lino. This couple right here shocked me. Shocked me. So Alexa is a labor and delivery travel nurse, and you have Lino, who is a health coach and personal trainer, right? So they've been together almost 3 years, I believe. I believe they've been together 2.5 years, right? So they've been together 2.5 years, and they are struggling to get married. Alexa says that Lino does not want to get married, right? But then when you dive into their relationship, you learn that Alexa doesn't give him much hope to get married because she was exclusive with him and I think 2 other men at the same damn time. Girl, not you bringing this man to Temptation Island because he don't want to marry you whole time. Girl, you'll be out here creeping. Why would he want to marry you? Be for real. Girl, next couple, you have Ashley and Grant. They've been together, I believe, a year and a half, I believe, right? And Ashley's an accountant. Grant is a business owner. They're both 28. Within the first month of them being together, Grant cheated on Ashley. So already I'm just looking at Ashley like, girl, so 1 month in, this man told you what the goings on was going on. He told you. He not trying to get married. Okay? So they down to Temptation Island. Then, lo and behold, the last couple just sent my head spinning. Shantae and Brian, okay? Shantae's 29, he's 26. Shantae is a clinical healthcare and Pilates instructor. Brian is a medical and pharmaceutical salesperson, right? They met at church. Here is how they met. Shantae went to one of the deacon elders and she asked one of the deacon elders for help financially. That deacon said, I have the perfect person for you. Brienne, he's a church member. He's really, really good with his finances. He can help you. He introduced them to each other that day, that night, pig in a blanket. He helped her with her finances, and then he laid hands on her. He laid hands on her. And I ain't talking about praying, okay? Down to the church house. Imagine seeking financial help down to the church house. All you wanted was financial help. And a deacon leads you to a church member who's helping himself to your coochie. This is how they met. Very unserious circumstances, okay? So anyway, of course, he's been cheating on her the whole time they've been together. They've been together a year, and she says on the plane ride there that I just can't get him to commit to an exclusive relationship. Girl, so y'all been together a whole year, but y'all ain't really been together, and now you think you gonna been together down to Temptation Island? Okay, girl. It's just insane. It's a segment where they all sit down and it's a group of like, I want to say like 20 singles there's 20 single women. It's 20 single men. Okay. There was one guy who came out. He was like, hi, I'm such and such. I'm 22 years old or whatever. And I'm a trainer and I can't wait to stretch out your girlfriend's guts. These are their introductions. These are these people's introductions. One of the girls came out, I'm a dentist and I can't wait to be all in your mouth. The blood of Jesus. The blood. There was one girl who comes forward and she's like, hi, my name is Ashley. I'm 22 years old. I'm a swimming coach and my guilty pleasure is sucking dick. I know it's Temptation Island. But do we have to let the men know immediately that we can play tonsil hockey with their testicles just immediately upon arrival? Can we be just a little demure? Can we bring back being very demure, very mindful? Can we do that? Diabolical. This was the first episode. So the second episode, I guess by then they choose their first dates. So I'm going to get into that, child, and I'll report back to y'all on my thoughts on that, child. Drop that in the comments. Let me know if you have watched Temptation Island. It is just diabolical. Diabolical television. Give me 20 more seasons. I'm ready. Give me 20 more seasons, Netflix. I am so ready, okay? Chasing me like waterfalls. All right, White Lotus. What the fuck did I just watch? White Lotus episode 5. What did I just watch? I need a moment. I need a support group. I need people to talk to about this. I need somebody to hold my hand. Because what is going on? Let me tell you something. It's one thing for y'all to delete and pew Jennifer Coolidge's character last season, but how dare y'all bring the man who deleted her back to the show? And then he got Natasha Rothwell just running away and running all over the resort for her life. Scared. Now I'm happy. I'm excited for her because she did get a little bit of Asian dick that one night now. She got her little pieces. She got her little egg roll now. I'm excited for her egg roll night. It's about time my sis got, broken off. Is this the first time we've seen her get kissed on? And I think this is the first time. It was a lot going on. You got the gossip girls, the 3 little white girls that don't like each. Is it me or they don't like each other? Like, is it me? All 3 of them do not like each other. From the time they got to this resort, they just be talking shit about each other behind each other's backs a lot. One of them is very, very obsessed with getting laid by some of the resort workers. Let me ask y'all something. When y'all be traveling, do y'all be doing that? Do y'all be having sex with the people that work down to the resort? Is that a thing? Is that a thing? I remember one time, one of my homegirls, she went to Jamaica and girl, mid-trip, she called me and she was like, girl, call me Stella. I done got my groove back. She was telling me how one of the resort workers put it on her ass. And she was very much in need. I guess she hadn't had sex in a minute. She was going through a little depressive state, a little depressed moment in her life. And, I think just her and the guy just, had just a wild night. But I was like, wow, is that something that people do on the regular? I've never done that. Now, have I had sex down to other countries and other islands where I have traveled? Yes. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Of course, I've gotten some zuzu out the country. But I've never done it with like the resort workers. Like, that's crazy. One of the gossip girls, she done made fetch happen and she down to the resort having sex with one of the resort workers. I'm happy for her. You got Timothy who is going through it, okay? Timothy and his family are there because his daughter told the family that she wanted to do a thesis on a monk that was living in Thailand. Whole time it was a scheme that she came up with to tell her family that she want to move to Thailand. Her mama is so upset about it. Her mama's losing her damn mind. Taiwan? You want to move to Taiwan? They in Thailand, mind you. Taiwan. So Timmy's got a gun. There's a scene where Timothy is about to off himself, right? Because from the time he got to the resort, he got a call about some Ponzi scheme that he put into motion that backfired. And he's about to be exposed for it. He's about to lose all his money. He's filthy rich, right? And that's how he's able to live this lavish life and take his family on a trip to Thailand, right? But anyway, he's about to lose everything. And after his wife goes off on his daughter for wanting to move to Taiwan, mind you, they in Thailand, everybody's asleep, and Tim is sitting there playing Russian roulette with a gun, and literally he, tries to pew 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 himself. And right when the gun goes off, but no bullet goes off, his wife catches him, which was crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But he plays it off really, really well. He just tells her that he's up late and he's writing some notes himself and preparing for a meeting or something like that. So that was a crazy scene. You have Rick, who goes to Bangkok, right? So Rick goes to Bangkok. Remember, he's on a bit of a discovery because something had happened to his daddy. He's trying to find the doctor that did something to his daddy that caused his daddy to die. I can't remember what happened, but he's on a mission to find the person who did something wrong to his daddy. Okay. So while he's in Bangkok, he catches up with an old friend, right? Sam, right? So Sam is telling him how he's been to Bangkok. He's been in Bangkok for a minute. He doesn't see himself leaving Bangkok anytime soon. When he got to Bangkok, he was getting to put his cock in a whole lot of bang, okay? He was doing a whole lot of banging with his cock, right? So he was talking about how he was just banging a whole bunch of young girls. Like, I want to say they were legal, but... So anyway, he was down to Bangkok, putting his cock in every bang he could find. And the more bang he cocked, the more he realized that he wanted to be those girls that he was Bangkocking. Rick is sitting there listening to his story. And so he's like, I was banging so many women. And you know what? Like, I just had an epiphany that I wanted to be those girls. I wanted to feel what those girls were feeling. And so I hired those girls to do to me what I was doing to them. And when that wasn't enough, I started hiring men because I really wanted to feel what I was giving to those girls. And see, I was cocking their bangs. So I wanted men to cock my bangs. And then when that wasn't enough, I would hire the men to cock my bang, and I would hire the girls who I used to put my cock into their bangs. I hired them to watch me and my cock get banged. It's just something about them looking me in my eyes while I got Bangkok. I watched that scene in utter silence. Never in my life have I ever heard a man say those words. Never in my life. I held space for that because I think it's a whole lot of Sams out here. I think it's a whole lot of Sams out here. But, in these socially conscious times, in these Donald Duck at the Tesla house times, it's a hard time for the men to just be honest with themselves. But I think a whole lot of the jealousy that men have for women stems from the fact that they too would like to be Bangkoked. Speaking of Bangkocking, there is the scene with the two brothers, Lachlan and Saxon. they're out with the two other girls from the resort. And, you know, they're just having a good time. They're out and about in the Thailand streets. They're doing street drugs and, you know, they're hallucinating and they're just having fun. And then they get on this boat and have this boat party, the four of them with the other two girls. I can't remember what the other two girls' names were, but they're on this boat party and, you know, the two girls start kissing and then the two girls kiss them. And then all of a sudden, the brothers kiss each other. I need to understand what's going on. And you know what's crazy? I remember thinking to myself back in episode 1, I think, or episode 2, there was a scene where the older brother has this obsession with getting the younger brother laid. He kept trying to get him laid. Hey, approach this girl, approach that girl. We got to get you laid. It's a numbers game, right? And then there was a scene where they both were like waking up from sleeping all night and the older brother gets out of bed and he's naked and the younger brother was just fixated on his brother's cheeks. Why is he staring at his brother's cheeks like that? It's just giving a whole other meaning to I'm my brother's keeper. Then you got this scene where they just tonguing each other down. And then that's it. The episode's over. What did I just watch? Drop in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on episode 5 of I can't even say it. What do you think of White Lotus? Episode 5, people. White Lotus, episode 5. What did y'all think about that episode? Is it just me or that whole episode was a mind fuck? Just a mind fuck. From top to bottom. The Bangkoking. The tonsil hockey with the brothers. The resort hunching. It just was too much. Too much. Anyway, y'all, that's it for what the fuck did I just watch. Let's go ahead and get into Set It Off, I Suggest. Set it off, I suggest. Set it off. All right, y'all, just keep in mind, you can send me. What's going on? Are you okay? Are you trying to Bangkok me? Hold on, let me get. I can't. It's just too much Bangkoking. Y'all, you can write me a letter if it's advice, love advice, life advice. If you have a am I the asshole, whatever it is, you could send me a letter to jessacouplethingspod at gmail.com for the chance to be featured in an episode. Let's get to this letter. Hold on. This letter starts off this way. Hey, Jess, I just want to start off by saying I love you. I love you too. Your content and your personality so much. You are truly an inspiration to me, especially as a fellow Haitian American. Okay. Sac passe. I really look up to you. And even though we're not that far apart in age, because you embody so much strength, wisdom, and authenticity. And honestly, as an eldest daughter, you definitely deserve your flowers. Oh, thank you. Listening to your podcast today, the Set It Off, I Suggest part, I guess this is from last episode, really spoke to me, and it made me want to share a little bit of my story or maybe even ask for some advice. I'm not the eldest child. Technically, I'm the fourth, but I was raised as the eldest in the house with my mom, so I completely relate to the eldest daughter experience. Since I was about 8 or 9, I wasn't just responsible for my younger siblings. I was also responsible for my mom. She put so much pressure and expectation on me that I grew up always hearing, "You're so mature," like it was a badge of honor. But in reality, that phrase became a trigger because I had to grow up before I should have. The parentified child. Like you said, you never had anybody to rely on, but everyone relied on you. That's my story too. My childhood ended at 8 years old. And as for my siblings, the ones I practically raised, they got all the love, all the softness, all the care. Oof. Girl, don't get me started. Don't get me started. And I don't want to say I'm jealous, but in a way I am, not of them, but of the mother they got to experience. Oh my God. My mom's love for me was always conditional. Only there when I was taking care of her and everyone else. She never loved me just for me. In my teenage years and early 20s, I tried to start putting myself first. But every time I did, I was guilt tripped, not just by my mom or siblings, but even by family, friends. No one ever told me, go choose you. Instead, it was always, she's your mom. You have to help her. But my mom has never worked a day in her life. At first, I gave her grace for that because of her immigration status. But 8 years ago, I sponsored her to get her own green card. And since then, she hasn't saved a dime. She's done nothing with it. Just continued relying on me to take care of her and my younger siblings. And Jess, I don't have kids. I don't have a man, but the way everyone treated me, you would think I was a single mother of 5. Honestly, my 20s have been the worst decade of my life. Wow. I just turned 29, and this year I finally chose me. It's sad because choosing myself meant letting go of my mom. And if I ever needed confirmation that her love was conditional, there it was. Because the moment I stopped financially supporting her and my siblings, she stopped speaking to me. And even though I know I did the right thing, I still struggle with moments of guilt. I travel for work now. I'm constantly moving. I physically removed myself from the situation, and yet I still feel like I'm not removed enough. I guess my question is, am I wrong for wanting to completely disconnect, to build myself up so crazy, become the absolute best version of myself without even thinking about what they're doing? Because for so much of my life, I was consumed by them. And now I felt I finally chosen myself. I can't tell if what I feel is peace or guilt. But regardless, I'm going to keep going. And I just wanted to let you know that I see you, I hear you, I validate you. That's something I wish I had. And if no one else has said it to you, I want to be that for you. Because eldest daughters get it. We will always defend you. The people who don't understand, that's fine. I'm glad they don't get it. Just know I do. Much love. Wow, that really, really touched me. I was watching an episode of Oprah's podcast. She has a podcast. It's really, really good, y'all. Like, if you like old school Oprah, please watch her podcast. She has an episode with Dr. Bryant, Dr. Themi Bryant. She's actually my pastor's sister. She has a book and right now that she's on a press tour for, and I think the book talks about like healing your heart. There was someone who called in, right? And she was a woman in her 40s, and she was talking about how her entire life as the eldest daughter, she financially supported all her siblings, and how, she just could not do that anymore. First of all, they weren't appreciative. Second of all, it was time for her to choose herself. She wanted to be able to pour herself into her kids. And because she pulled back from letting them live with her, from letting them spend all her money, her relationships with them suffered. And Dr. Bryant said something that really, really stuck to me. She said, a lot of times as the eldest, especially the eldest daughter, you're seen as a resource, not a sibling. And when I tell you, that hit me like a ton of bricks. It hit me like a ton of bricks. But I also wanted to add to that, it's not just your siblings, it's also your mother. It's also your parent, but usually it's your mother. For whatever the reason, is something about that relationship with mothers and the eldest daughter. It is just such a strenuous relationship a lot of the times. And it is because your mom sees you as a resource. My mom, when I was younger, I was always the resource. Please make sure the kids get that. Please make sure that the kids get this. I'm sleeping. I have to get ready for work. Make sure that they're all quiet so that I can sleep. Hey, I left this food for them on the stove. Make sure that they get it. Make sure that you walk them to school. Make sure that you pick them up from school. Did you pick up such and such? It doesn't just end at your siblings. It's your mother also offering up your services to people who are her friends and family members on the outside. Hey, can you go get sister such and such from the airport? Can you go pick up this for brother so-and-so from church? You're seen as this resource, not a daughter, not a sibling. And when I heard Dr. Bryant say that, it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I can tell you, around the time where I pulled back from my siblings, I noticed there was a correlation between, just like how you said, when you stop supporting them financially. There was a moment in time where one of my siblings in particular, I would talk to him all the time. He would hit me up all the time. Hey, I need an Uber ride here. I need an Uber ride there. And when I noticed that that was what it was, I pulled back those Uber rides and I didn't hear from him anymore. He saw me as his resource. And that's just been the correlation between me. And like I said in my last podcast, I kind of just I don't really have much of a relationship with my siblings at the moment. And my mom, I think, like people always say, oh, she's your mom, she's your mom, she's your mom. But it's like, it's just kind of like the same thing with her. Like, I'm not your resource. I'm not your bank. When growing up, I was not able to rely on anybody. I wasn't able to be like, oh, can I get money for this? Can I get money for that? I wasn't. But as soon as I think my siblings, my mom saw me as somebody who was getting money, it was like, oh, well, give me money. You know what I mean? And it's like, no. First of all, everybody knows the more money you make, the more taxes you got to pay, the more expenses you have. I have my own life. I have a home that I bought. When I bought a home, nobody sent me any gifts. Nobody gave me anything. Y'all who are my YouTube subbies, y'all bought me everything. If you were one of the subbies who bought me stuff, thank you. My family gave me nothing. My family gave me nothing. One of my aunts, she surprised me with $500 in my envelope. And another one of my aunts, when she came down for my housewarming, she cooked up and down for me. I mean, she left food for me. She did a lot of things for me. But outside of that, like, nobody in my family gifted me anything. Not a roll of tissue paper. And I think it's because I'm seen as a resource. You're the oldest, you're the eldest. Like, it's crazy. The eldest daughter to me is the man of the house. Clock that. The eldest daughter, in my opinion, is the man of the house. She is the most resourceful. And so that is why a lot of times your siblings won't see you as a sibling. They'll see you as a resource. Even your mom, your parents won't see you as a daughter or as a child. They'll see you as a resource because you've always been able to just go out there and make it happen. You've always figured it out. They've always been able to count on you. And unfortunately, it causes this dynamic where, damn, nobody looks out for me. I can't rely on anybody. Nobody has grace for me when I do something wrong because I should know better. You know what I mean? It's just, you really just have to choose yourself or else you're always going to be everybody's resource. And so, yeah, back in 2017, I made that decision. I'm not going to be nobody's resource. Like, I'm going to be y'all's sibling. And if you want to be my sibling, but I'm not going to be your resource. Point blank, period. Don't hit me just when you need something. Same thing goes for my mom. Don't hit me just when you need something. Like, I'm done. I am done. Because the thing too is I deserve to be loved. And just like in your story, when you said like your other siblings got so much softness, it was the same thing with me. I was busy being a resource. But they got the I love yous. They got the hugs that I just didn't get. Eldest daughter trauma to me is very real. And we will carry that into other aspects of life. And I just really just want to be able to rid myself of that. And that's why I've just chosen myself. I'm going to tell you, it's hard at first because you're going to feel guilt. But girl, do not feel guilt. You're not doing anything wrong by choosing yourself. You've got to have those boundaries, man. Like, they need to see you as their sibling, not their resource. Your mom needs to see you as her daughter, not her resource. And until they're able to understand that, you have to set those boundaries, point blank, period, or else they're going to constantly railroad you into being their resource. So choose yourself, girl. You ain't got no kids yet. God forbid, like, that's true. That's another thing. A lot of eldest daughters don't be want no kids. Like, because you had kids already. You had kids. You became, as an eldest daughter, you became a mom without your consent. So yeah, girl, choose yourself. Choose yourself. Choose yourself. Choose yourself. I know it's easier said than done, but do not feel guilty for choosing yourself. At the end of the day, you can't be anybody's resource if you're not your own resource. You are your own source. You are your own protector. Nobody's going to protect you how you protect yourself. So choose yourself. Choose yourself. Thank you so, so much for sharing that with me. And you know what? Maybe we'll have an episode dedicated to that. I feel like there's parts of my story I do want to share. Sometimes I felt like, oh, is it bad to share this? Is it? But like, you know, some of the letters I've gotten about eldest daughters and even some of the comments from that episode, you know, it's a lot of y'all struggling out there. And we definitely need to have a conversation about being an eldest daughter. We need to have that conversation. So maybe we will very, very soon. Anyway, y'all, thank you so, so much for checking out another episode of Just a Couple Things. Make sure that you follow me on every platform that streams podcasts. Leave me 5 stars in your review and leave me a review. Let me know what you think of the podcast. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you guys next time.
Jessieewoo, VBS. I just turn the water on. Big old flex. She never saw before. He's chasing me like waterfall. Jessieewoo.
Pioneer.